Okay, so for washing your Qiviut garment, you're just going to need a few things. Today we're going to use a 3-gallon bucket. You can either use a large salad bowl, your sink if it's clean, anything like that. We have our Qiviut garment we're going to need to wash. And then we have our soap that we use here in the store, Shaklee Formula H2 soap, whatever that means. You can either use, I use my Dawn dish soap. One of our other girls that works here use her Ivory soap. We need a towel to press out the extra water once it's done being washed. And then we have our hot water. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to take our smoke ring and we're just going to throw it in the bucket. Now, I like to go ahead and just squirt in a little bit of soap to start off with, and then you add your water. Now, the hot water aids in removing the oils and dirt and makeup that this is going to pick up. If you're wearing your smoke ring every day, we recommend that you wash it 2 or 3 times a season. Now, if you're just wearing it every once in a while, once a season is usually fine. I like to make sure that you get the garment completely covered. Now, it doesn't seem like it, but Qiviut floats. So you're going to have to go in there, oh, that water's hot, and make sure it gets nice and soaked. I like to kind of make it swish around and get some suds worked up to it. In this hot water soaking with the soap for about 5-10 minutes now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to agitate it a little bit. Now, you don't want to be, too soft. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to kind of just take the garment and work it back and forth in your hands. So what this is doing is it's helping to remove the oils on it. I am not taking it and like scrubbing it against itself. You want to avoid that because you're basically just going to rip the fibers apart. So just gently kind of working it like you would a stress ball or something like that. Just squeeze all the soap and liquid out. And if you look, the water's already getting a little bit of a dingy color to it. So it doesn't take much soaking time and much working it to really start getting it good. Now, you may have to repeat this process 2 or 3 times. I like to go until the water is just as clear as it was when I put it into the bucket in the first place. So now what we're going to do is we're going to repeat this process. Okay, so I've drained the water out of the bucket, so it's round 2. Add some soap. Now, our soap comes from a concentrate, so the amount that I'm adding here is probably a little bit more than you should use if you're using like your Dawn dish soap or your Ivory dish soap, just to let you know. Add your water in. And then let that guy work it around a little bit. Let it soak for a few more minutes. Same kind of thing like we did before. And you can already see how the color of the water is kind of changing a little bit, or at least hopefully you can see. Okay, so it's soaked for about another 5 minutes. So we're going to do just like we did before. We're kind of work it back and forth between the hands. Or you can just kind of go like this with it. Alright, that water is looking pretty good. Not too bad. I think most of that is soap, so that'll come out in the rinsing. Alright, so squish it all out. And now we're going to go rinse it. Okay, so we have this handy little filter in the bottom of the sink, and that's just to catch the extra little fluffies that come off of it. And if you can see, that was off of the first rinse that I did, or the first wash that I did. So we can go ahead and put that to the side. Now, I like to rinse in kind of like a medium cold water. It doesn't really matter. You can wash it whatever you want, or rinse it whatever you want. So just kind of keep going like this, working it back and forth. And you look at the water in the sink. You can see how the little bubbles are kind of coming out. Now, some of that is just from the water splashing, but some of that's actually soap. So I like to keep going until I don't see a lot of those bubbles in the sink. And if you're really curious, you can take it, squish it out, and kind of bring it out. And then you see these little glistening parts? I think that's soap. I just keep going till that's gone. Open it up. Rinse it all flat. Squish out. That way you're getting all the soap from all the different areas out of it. Now remember, you're using quite a bit of soap for such a small garment, so it may take a little bit to rinse, and you can adjust how much soap you add to your wash to your liking. Alright, I'm going to call that pretty good. Okay, so this is the smoke ring all rinsed. So all we're going to do is we're going to lay it out flat. We're going to kind of give it a little bit, to right it a little bit, what we call hand blocking. Now you take your towel, lay it out, take your garment, lay it in the towel, and then all you're going to do is take and kind of roll it up. And you're just going to squish out the extra water. I'm just kidding, don't do that. Okay, so as you can see, it's a lot drier now, and the towel has soaked up a lot of the water. I just like to take it out, flip the towel over, and do it again the other way. Now, because Qiviut is so light, this will dry out really quick. It only takes like 15, 20 minutes, a half hour for it to dry out once you get all the water soaked up. There it is. Okay, so now you can just take this and you can either lay it flat like this to dry, or you can take and put it over your towel bar in your bathroom, and then just like 20 minutes later flip it over so the other side dries pretty good too. So now, because the smoke rings are knit like this, they tend to start getting shorter and wider around. So what you can do is, while it's still kind of damp, take it and roll it up. Grab it by the ends and kind of gently tug it back out. And what that does, realigns all the stitches in the yarn and lengthens your smoke ring back out, which will help it to hug your face and neck better and wear much more like a hood like it's supposed to. Now, if you like to wear it around your neck as a scarf, that's fine, you don't have to do that. I just took and hung it up over a little bar we have here in the bathroom to let that guy dry, and it's already feeling really dry, so it doesn't take that long at all. If you don't want to attempt this at home, you can mail it to us here in Anchorage, Alaska, and depending on the garment, whether it's a hat or a notch hock for $15, or a stole for $35, we will wash and block your garment for you, stretching it out back to size and shape just like it was when it was brand new, and that way it'll look great for you again. So that's how you wash your smoke ring or your other Qiviut garment. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, give us a call, check out our website, follow us on Facebook.